Hello, Gunpla fans. It is Speedball Harlow, and today for you guys, I would like to say thank you. And for those who don't know why I'm saying that, it's very simple. This special review is because of my channel's recent accomplishment of over now 1,000 subs, and I am truly honored and grateful to all my subs for the support and just for the views that you give me. And I am truly honored, and I won't lie to you guys, I never thought I'd ever get this far on my channel, especially in such short time. So I am grateful to all of you guys for everything you've supported me with and so forth. And that's why a couple months ago, and sorry for the delay, I placed a special vote for you all to pick from a line of models to celebrate the 1,000 achievement by doing a special review of. And well, after some choosing and so forth, the winner of that set voting was, of course, the Gundam Mark V, the very well loved and very well liked PBANDAI Master Grade exclusive, which I can definitely see why, my friends. This build was impressive. This was definitely one of those good builds you just want to build again and again if you had the options, which I will mention right now. We should have options of, I should say, because quick trivia, if you aren't aware of this, the Gundam Mark V actually has other variations, or I should say, later developed units that, well, I don't know why Bandai hasn't bothered to touch upon, because for those who aren't aware of this, this model came out in 2021. So it has been a couple of years now, and as I've learned for Bandai stuff, well, they do tend to, market upon if there are variations and so forth to work off of. And for those who are, of course, unaware, the variants I'm talking about is a color variant of the standard Mark V, and which should be popping up right here, and another variant which is a well-loved double Zeta variant, I should say, and that is, of course, the Dovin Wolf, which will be popping up right here. And yes, those two units are variants from the Mark V, and of course, if you know the Dovin Wolf, you'll of course know that the Dovin Wolf also has its own variant, but that's for another time. But yes, it is surprising that Bandai has not decided to market it on that idea. I don't know why. I'm sure there's, of course, a reason for that, but you never know. I mean, and truthfully, I am surprised Bandai just hasn't even done more with just the standard Mark V in this case, because as I've also seen with many other Bandai releases, they tend to do a lot of clear kit or titanium releases, and to my knowledge, because I can't recall any offhand, I don't believe the Mark V has had any from either G-Base or Expo-like exclusives. I just can't recall any, so it is a bit surprising. And like I said, this is a good kit, guys. I built it from the ground up, and one fun advantage about this build is that, as you can see it, fully built and all detailed, no stickers. Not one sticker is on this model, and I can prove it because the actual sticker sheet in this kit is just lens, literally just all for cameras, eyes, and all that. That's it. No body. Everything you see is exactly how you build it, including all the white stripe parts, which I could bet on an HG or any other kit I could bet would probably be stickers. But no, the Master Grade completely nullifies that, and everything you see is out of the box, built, done. No no paints, no nothing. It's just, wow. It amazes me. It's one of those kind of builds, like I said, you're going to love it because it doesn't require that excess paint need or any of that. Now, of course, if you're going to customize it, detail, and all that other stuff, that's another story. But literally, out of the box, it's fine. And to show you guys up close, as you can see, it looks really nice. And like I always do, I always add a little my own paint detailing for eyes and stuff. That's just my own preference. But it's really cool. I really love all this, including all the gimmicks and such. And of course, for those who aren't aware, this unit, of course, is from the Gundam Sentinel series, which, as we all know, is a big line of mechs, models, and such, which is also sad because it's also one of Bandai's less produced lines. Literally, we get only so many and only so often. It's like been, I don't even remember other besides the Mark V here, how many other units have we gotten besides the Deep Striker and the 1.5 of the EX. So yeah, but yeah, I mean, it was but it was worth the wait for this one. Definitely. I mean, the posability is nice. See, oh, sorry about that. That is the one known issue I've had with mine, is for some reason the shoulder armor does want to pop off every so often. But other than that, it's really nice. It doesn't do any other issues there. You can extend the arm out, as you can see, a full rotation here. Hands are, of course, ball joints, and the hands themselves are like the seed and wing hands. You just pop off this, and of course you can swap with any other fingers you have available, like a trigger hand and so forth. And the thumb, of course, as you can see, is on a ball joint, so there's that. And the hand up to the wrist here has this extra joint set up, and you can bend the arm about that far, all the way out. Push that back in. Now the head was fun to play with because it looks like a normal neck joint and such, but when you play with it, it actually has an extension, so you can go all the way up, all the way back, and such. And of course, ball joint. Now, of course, it will bump into armor because of the big V fins there, but if you extend it out, it will avoid that problem. And when you get to the abs here, he has an ab crunch for sure. I can bend him all the way. Wait a minute. Yeah. Bend him all the way down that far. Bend him all the way up. And that's not even going on the waist joint because, as you can see, I can do that. And if you move the backpack out of the way, of course, you can go all the way around. And speaking of the backpack real quick, since it's right here, it too has its set of joints for the vernier / beam sable handles, which as you can see are gigantic. And they too have their own articulation. They can go all the way around. It's really awesome. I love it. You can do this. And of course the verniers. Now the verniers don't seem to go as far as I thought they would, but they do have some mobility. And of course you got this section here that can go all the way out, back, all the way that way and such. But of course the one gimmick you're going to want to check out is of course the bit weapon that attaches into here, that of course with the wires you will get with this kit. And these parts here, sorry, let me try to get a better view of this, that you will wrap the wire around to angle your bit parts. Of course you can of course detach this and have it deployed however you prefer, which is really cool. I do like that. And another fun gimmick is if you rearrange the verniers here with the beam sabers attached, you turn these into waist cannons that you can, of course, attach to the Mark V here, which is really cool. It's awesome. I rarely see many Gundams that can use their beam sabers as actual weapons, cannons, and other such fun ideas. I love it. That's one of the reasons why that makes Sentinel so cool. It's like, ooh, sorry about that. I had that in all the way. My apologies. As you can see, his legs can pretty much go all the way up if you wanted, all the way back, of course, until he bumps into armor. And this armor can move up, down as much as you want. His legs has, of course, a full swivel set up all the way around. You can bend his legs all the way up to this far point and back. And of course, his feet do have a good amount of articulation. You can bend them that far, this far back, toe bend, heel bend, or twist. And of course broken ankle, why not? Just you got to have that ankle break. And an interesting extra articulation are these parts right here. These can move in and out, same on this side, and you can pose them all the way up and down if you want. That's pretty cool for vernier idea poses and stuff like that. And this front skirt, remember, you can move out and such like that. These little verniers, yeah, just move a bit. And yeah, that's about it on the articulation front. Now, of course, as you can obviously see, there's more on him because he, of course, has his missile pods attached, which do have their own form of articulation when you move the pods around if you want, like that, for example. And these are really cool because the missile pods themselves actually have covers you can just flip open. I love that because a lot of times, you'd either have to remove the cover or something like that. And look, that is just so cool. And each one has them. It's really awesome. I love it. He's just going to bombard you. It's awesome. Now, a cool part about this is the shoulder setup to attach the missile pods onto. You can actually detach these anytime you want. You don't have to keep these on if you didn't want to, because the way they designed the shoulder here, if I can get it out, it fits in so well. There we go. You can actually detach these anytime you want, as you can see right there. But the cool part is you don't have to modify the shoulder. You just fold it back in. And now you just have a standard shoulder for him. That is so cool. I love that gimmick. I love hidden features like that. That is just so cool. It's really nice. I love it. But we're not done with accessories. Of course we're not, because we're talking about the Mark V and Sentinel. So of course we have something big, and that is this shield booster / missile launcher. As you can see, with these are really cool. It has, of course, the attachment point, which has some minor articulation, literally minor, but it's really nice. This reminds me of AOZ so much, which I'm betting, of course, it is related to or something, which is really nice. I like it. And how this attaches, actually, you got several points you can attach. You can either put it on the arm or you can attach it to the back here. For the armor, of course, you just take it like this. You take this. Give me 1 second. You, of course, slide it in like that. And there you go. Simple, easy, and it's definitely menacing. Or at least, heavy. And when you don't want it there, you can, of course, store it on the back here. Now, you do need to move these out of the way, of course, because of how big this is. Once it attaches in, you don't have to worry about storing your shield in a spare box or anything, because he can, of course, keep it on his back. I love those kind of shield setups. Those are fun. But we're not done yet. Nope. Of course, I got to show you more of his accessories, because as you saw earlier with his hands, you do have a set of hands to go with. You got fist to cuffs, and you got standard open hands like these ones to go on him, and you got a single beam saber holding hand, which is really nice, which I will now show you quick. Like that. And of course, let's take the handle off, which we will now look at real quick, which is really cool. And this thing is so big. This thing is not your standard beam saber handle size. Literally, it is not. This is literally like a gun size weapon for a beam handle. That is insane. I can hold this amazingly. It's just so much fun to play with. But of course, when you have giant beam handles, you gotta have those literally giant beam sabers. Guys, these are insanely large. I have never seen beam sabers this big. I don't own any models that have beam sabers this freaking big. I could drum with these. I could literally drum. That is insanely big. In fact, here, I'll prove it right now. I'll put the Mark V back in here. Here's our good buddy, the F90, real quick, just to show you a size comparison. The beam saber is bigger than the F90, and he's a master grade too. Here's the entry grade RX. It outshines the RX's size completely. That is how big these are. So yeah, my friends, these are just crazy in size. I love them. They're crazy, and I just like so many fun options. But the cool part is, as I mentioned before, about how you can have the beam sabers as well as into cannon form on him. That's what makes these effect parts so epic, because of course you can have them deployed on that form, making them look like full beam lasers firing. That is just awesome. So of course, as I said, let's put this in his handle, which they fit in just fine. They're not loose or anything, so they stay in pretty well. If I can get this in camera, there you guys go. That's what his full beam saber looks like deployed. It is awesome. I love it. I will probably even have it set up on my shelf like this yet. I don't know yet, maybe. But it's so awesome. I love it. And tell me, would you truly face someone with a beam saber this big? Would you? All right. For a quick, put this back on. Now, any questions as into like any real problems with this kit? Not really, no. I had no issues, honestly. And if you're worried about stability or anything falling off, now, like I said, my shoulder here is the only one that seems to be the issue, but it's like minor. It reattaches with no problem. But other than that, as you can see, I can shake all I want. He is not going to fall apart. I love it. So now, real quick, before I forget, any leftover parts minus the accessories, you do get a spare V-fin. Yeah, you literally will have an extra spare set if you break it or if you want to customize one. That's it. So now we will look real quick at some size comparisons with other, Gundam of the UC era. And once again, real quick, the entry grade, the F90, and lastly, I'm going to have to make a little room. My RE Mark III. Yeah, I had to bring him out for this one. I figured if I'm doing the Mark V, I got to bring it out to the Mark III. And even that is still, Mark V still beats him in height. I mean, the head still overshines him, even with all their accessories. He still beats him. So that just tells you what kind of beast you're looking at when it comes to the Mark V, my friends, and such. And yes, I could highly, highly recommend you pick up our friend here, because for good reasons, outside of what I've mentioned earlier in the video as into the possible variants we could see. And of course, the fact is, every time this kit has gone up for sale, I can tell you for a fact, people online have just bought them out every time. Literally, last year we had the reissue after so long, and they just flew right off the shelf. People were just buying them left and right, and it's like, that's how popular they are. So hopefully, maybe, especially with the recent double Zeta/Zeta announcements we got from the hobby event, maybe we'll get a Dovin Wolf this year or next year, depending. I don't know, guys. What do you think? You think we should get one? However, so yeah, so that's my biggest thoughts to this kit, guys. Yes, if you can pick him up, because remember, he is a PBANDAI exclusive, I definitely say go ahead, but don't go for any scalping deals if you don't have to. That's all I will say on that. And now I will say, and before we go, I am truly thankful to everyone for the support again. I am grateful that the channel is still growing. I am grateful, for that. Even if my videos can help in some way or another, or just for some enjoyment, I'm just glad that they can do that, guys. And I promise you, I will continue making more videos. I'm sorry for repeating, and such. And now I can't promise this yet, but I will say this: if my channel can make it to 2,000 subs, I will probably do another big video deal this time for that, but this time I might change it up from either another special review, or I'm thinking about doing a giveaway, my friends. So yeah, if we can make it to 2,000 subs, my friends, I will probably do one or the other. I promise you that. So I thank you always for coming. I truly am grateful, and I am hoping you are all enjoying your hobby, and I will gladly see you all later.